Today on V-Talk, I'm bringing to Impact Muang Thong Thani, where Bangkok Land has some phenomenal news. Buying back wholly Impact Muang Thong Thani, it is now a wholly owned subsidiary of Bangkok Land. Today we're going to talk about, though, the 20-year turnaround, a fairy tale story from the man who had the vision. Let's go inside. I'm very pleased to introduce my guest, Kun Anand Kanchanapat, who is the chairman of Bangkok Land. Sawasdee krap.
สวัสดีครับ
Well, you've had some big news, and I'm sure everyone wants to know the details and the background of it. Looking at the buyback of the shares, it's a huge windfall for Bangkok Land and something that we've really taken a number of years to put together. How did it all come?
Well, as I have already told the press that the fund has a lifetime of 5 years, and the 5 year has elapsed, and they seem to need to dissolve the fund. So therefore, we bought it.
Some people might be looking at the selling price as opposed to what it was originally bought for some years ago, and it's a significant amount. Why were they willing to sell at such a lower?
Well, as I said, they need to close the fund, and so they just sold it.
And it must mean, now that Impact is 100%, would be 100% subsidiary of a Bangkok Land, you mentioned there's be some added, the benefit, the insurance, you might say, of having the cash flow of Impact to support Bangkok Land. What does this mean for the future of Bangkok Land?
Well, the thing is, as I said, accounting-wise, it has been difficult in the past since the mother companies has a deficit, and we need to fill the deficit in order to declare dividend. And now things is behind us, and Bangkok Land has now good amount of profit reserve. And for every year, which has not been in the past, is to declare dividend. In the past, when we declare dividend, we have to give the cash to the partner as well as to Bangkok Land 55%. But we didn't do it because we need that fund to expand Impact, as it were, in the last 5 years. So now from the book, we can declare dividend to the holding companies every year, and Impact has a steady business. In the last 12 years in operations, we have been always profitable, and the level of profit has climbed around 10-15% every year. Even with the political problems, red, yellow shirt, flood, we still hold our own okay.
If we look back on the history of Bangkok Land and Impact, obviously during the financial crisis, everyone was hit. It's been quite, you might say, a Cinderella story, how you've kind of turned the company around and made it into a profitable enterprise as well. Looking at all the hard work that's been put into it right now, you mentioned also to the press about, now that you're in a stable position with the joining and the consolidation of all of the companies together here, there are a lot of things you can do in the future. You have a lot of land, people know that. What are your plans, if you can give us a hint in terms of the development?
Well, as I explained, we were approached by the SkyTrain, and they're going to bring the pink line into Muang Thong Thani, which will give Muang Thong Thani a new dimensions of transportations. Although we have already got the expressway, which we built the ramp ourselves during the Asian Games. And now with the expressway, I think it's opened new dimensions. And as I said, if the pink line come in, we could, one of the conditions is we have to provide the depot for the train, and the train depot in the ground floor could be used for the train, and upper floors would be for other purposes such as shopping, entertainment, etc. And that would be interesting. And also, if the trains come here, we can build the park and ride, which could be 20,000 car park unit that we have already got 15 right now in existence. It could give the people of the northern Bangkok don't have to travel to Bangkok all the way with the car. They can come with the car, park the car, and go with the train to the city.
Are all these developments, are all these benefits that you're envisioning for the future, are they as a result of this share buyback, or were these your plans regardless of whether you had...
This was our plan regardless, but the share buyback would sort of enlighten the decisions because the decision would be only one directions, that is to improve, to expand, and so on, whereas the other partner might not necessarily want to do that. And any right issue would be totally out of questions. Although Bangkok Land has no right, no plan to do any right issue in the future because we have plenty of cash and we have no debt, and we have plenty of land where we can turn into cash at any time when it is needed.
Well, actually, that leads to a good point there. Looking at the financial woes that they're having overseas, Europe, obviously, United States, looking at Asia, especially Southeast Asia, in terms of really picking up the pace in terms of a place to invest in. Do you see that since you, as you mentioned, you have no debt, you have lots of capital be able to invest, that you are somewhat insulated from any of the financial woes that you might be seeing, whether in Thailand or outside?
Well, I think we should not be over-optimistic about what could it bring to Thailand, because thinking that all the money will fly in from Europe and America and so on into Southeast Asia, I think that doesn't happen, because they need those money to cover their own problems in a big way, and I do not necessarily think this would be free money to fly to Southeast Asia. And secondly, the Southeast Asian economy will suffer a lot because the export, which are mainly rely on these Western countries, will slow down quite drastically, and the income will be reduced to very low. And when the import money does stop, even China will find it very difficult to see the cash around.
One last question, if I may ask a personal question. Looking back on your experience being here in Thailand, being able to get impact in Bangkok Land to where it is now, what is in your mind, your greatest achievement?
Well, I think the achievements would not stop at that. I'm still young. So we're looking forward to much further futures. The world is still open. And I think we may have some setback in the economy in the future, but I think we're ready to cope with that because we put our house in order for some time. We've been licking our wound since 20 years, since the Tom Yam Goong times, and reducing the debt from 60 billion to nothing to a net cash positions. That takes a long time to do.
Well, it's quite a Cinderella story and one that's ended. And as you mentioned, the story is not finished yet. So
okay.
Thank you very much for joining us
right.
today.
Nice meeting you.
Cup and cup.
Welcome to Culturally Yours. I'm Bon Jacobson. November is packed with many exciting events. Are you up for some grassroots entertainment? Our first stop this week on the 3rd of November. Knock on the front door of Ed Carabao's house in Chiang Mai because the king of Thai folk songs is inviting you to an exclusive concert. วันวานไม่มีเขาวันนี้ไม่มีเรา For some of you who may not be Ed's fans, you can still enjoy Gad Mua or try authentic Lana favorite dishes and go back in time with Thai traditional music from various artists which Ed himself selected. The ticket price starts from 1,500 baht, but the seat is limited to only 500, so you need to book your tickets early. Step aside MTV because Uncle Ed's house is going to rock. I hope our next program is going to please the ladies around here. Let's head down to Bangkok and check out some beautiful things together. This exhibition features over 200 pieces of delicately and elaborately embroidered artworks based on Thai literature. There are also many souvenirs on sale, which you can't resist taking home or give out as presents. The exhibition will be at the Queen's Gallery on Ratchadamnern Klang Road until the 13th of November. But note the gallery is closed on Wednesdays. For more details, please call 02-281-536-021. Our last program this week, please welcome the Canadian crooner David Foster. There will never be enough of David Foster. And this November, he's coming back to Bangkok after his first concert in Bangkok 2 years ago. This year, David Foster and Friends Live in Bangkok is coming back with many great artists, including the diva of funk, Chaka Khan, the winner of 10 Grammy Awards, Babyface, the soprano star Hayley Westenra, and the artist of the fastest-selling international debut classical album of all time, Paul Young. What are you waiting for? Join David Foster and his friends who will take the stage at Impact Arena on the 5th of November. The ticket starts from 1,000 to 5,000 baht, gold package. And let me tell you, that's a bargain. I hate to leave you, but I love to see you all go out and have a good time. So that's a wrap for today. Have a great weekend and I'll see you next week. สวัสดีค่ะ